But today's goal, folks, is to talk about a lens that I feel like every street photographer, even if you're not a street photographer, you should own this lens. Imagine a lens so powerful and easy to use that'll allow you to tell timeless stories with every image. So what lens am I talking about today, folks? Well, it's not a specific lens. It's actually going to be any 50mm lens for your camera. We're mostly talking about the focal length, the 50mm focal length. Now today I have my Fuji X-E1 paired up with this Viltrox brand new 35mm 1.7 lens. They are sponsoring this video, and so I will be showing you kind of how the lens performs throughout the entire video. Now you guys might be wondering, that's not a 50mm lens. Well, folks, a 35 on a Fujifilm sensor ends up being a 52.5, so roughly 50mm. That's close enough, and so that is why I'm referring to it as a 50mm lens. I've been shooting it on my X-E1 for the last 3 weeks. Probably my favorite 50mm lens on a Fujifilm camera ever created, so you definitely need to check it out. And every single image you will see me make today will be on this lens right here. Now, where this lens really stands out for street photography is when you take your time. It's a storytelling lens. It's a lens that you need to kind of slow down with and create your story with it instead of react. The 50mm is extremely versatile. You just got to know how to use it. So today I'm just going to take you guys around San Francisco, and I'm going to break down every single image that I make today. And I want you guys to really get a first-hand look at how I go about approaching this lens. And as I share these tips as well as the final results, I hope you guys can get a better understanding about why I personally feel like the 50mm is one of the most effective focal lengths for street photography.
What's your channel?
I make just photography videos.
What are you posting on?
YouTube.
What's your name?
King Japes.
King James?
JVPES. No, not really.
Hey, I'll see you later, bro.
Alright, brother, how's it going? Now, one of the benefits when shooting with a 50mm lens is that it is the perfect middle focal length. It's not too wide and it's not too narrow. So as a result, you can still get some really nice wide shots like this with a subject in the middle of the frame, or you could even hone in on smaller details like the image here on the left where I only photograph the bottom half of the subject. This makes the 50mm lens one of the most versatile tools in your kit. Sometimes it feels weird to kind of sit here with a camera in your hand, but fishing and kind of waiting for the right moment oftentimes pays off if you really be selective. And a lot of the times what happens is, like here, I'm going to frame up and hit. Alright, and then we refocus our frame. So it's a game of odds, right? So if I'm here for 20 minutes, I take one shot, and the one shot is, satisfactory, it's subpar, whatever, I can continue on and be happy with my day. Or I could sit here and wait for the perfect subject. And a lot of what street photography is finding that right moment, waiting for that right point in time where you click the shutter and everything lines up. And so, we're at an advantage right now where I'm kind of just posted up and nothing's really changing other than the people that walk through the frame. So if I just keep one kind of like control variable, and that is my setup to the shot, all I have to do is wait for subjects to walk through and nail that perfect shot. Now, after some time, the perfect shot finally came around. I really loved the expression on the face and also the correlation between both of them being blonde, but then I realized I needed someone who was wearing glasses because the word spectacle was in the frame. So I waited a little bit longer and got this shot. Now, it's important to note, if this photograph was taken with a focal length wider than the 50mm lens, all of the background clutter, including the cop car as well as just some of the buildings and the gates in the background, would be visible. But because the 50mm is a bit more narrow, it allows you to be much more intentional with what you can include in your frame, resulting in much cleaner images. one of the biggest things about using a lens like the 50mm is that a lot of times they're going to have really large apertures, like a 1.7. And of course, the benefit to this is that you can get some really nice shallow depth of field shots. And so if you focus in on a subject, it can help isolate the subject. You can get rid of those annoying background distractions that you see in a lot of street photography that ends up cluttering people's images. But having a large aperture also allows you to essentially shoot during low light situations. Now, I mentioned earlier that this Viltrox lens is one of the best I've gotten to shoot with on a Fuji camera. And one of the main reasons for this is because of that large 1.7 aperture. This lens renders out of focus areas in such a classic way that it reminds me of the older legacy film lenses. It's sharp at 1.7 and also gives a very nice classic look and feel. And if you shoot a Fujifilm camera, in my opinion, this lens is absolutely essential. I'm gonna go walk around a little bit, see if I can kind of find some things to make images of, and I'll share with you guys my process on why and how I make these images.
I actually lost it for like 3 weeks. I need like an air tag on this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but film. You shooting with the Leica right now?
No, so this is a little digital camera from like 2013. It's a Fuji, but it's an old one, bro. Check it out.
I'm really crazy with this one, honestly.
Bro, I've never seen a carabiner on a camera before. That's dope.
It's a little handle, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's lit. I like that.
You know Jamil Shabazz?
Yes, I do.
The first camera he used was a Canon A1, so I was like, homage to hip hop.
Yep.
Like first hip hop photography. It's like, yeah.
That's sick, bro.
Dude, actually, it's I don't know. It's like messed up. I don't know. I'm kind of shaking right now meeting you. It's crazy.
No, you're good,
It's nice
bro.
meeting you, bro.
We just shooting. That's what we do, you know.
I actually gotta go to work right now. It's just crazy.
All good. KP?
Yeah. KP.
All right, brother.
JP.
KP. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. Take care, bro.
You too.
Hey, good luck shooting.
Thank you. Shout out to KP. KP, you're missing the color. KP, if you're watching this video, I know you work nearby, but turn around. Come look at this orange goodness that we got going on here. All right, let me just stop and take a few photos of these. Beautiful orange. Tones right here.
Because I got Layton, which is like a spicy vanilla, and this one's more of like a tobacco.
Shit. I'm not good with colognes.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I'm terrible with colognes.
Like, I've been trying to like ask people, and I'm getting like yeses and nos.
Go with what you feel like is best.
Oh yeah, I saw your photography, bro. Awesome, man. Have a nice day.
Man, you too. So you may have heard that saying before that, you know, when it comes to street photography, you need to be invisible. I personally do not buy into that school of thought. But I will say, when you shoot a 50mm, because your subject typically isn't going to be directly head on, and you're focusing more on your environment, I do think that there's a sense of relief when it comes to the attention that you get when making photographs. You know, with a 28mm, I'm typically running up and down the street and, you know, I'm taking pictures head on in front of folks. But with the 50, I'm starting to incorporate more of my environment. I'm putting, you know, reflections to use, these textures, broken glass, broken mirrors, anything and everything that creates some sort of like visual interest. I'm utilizing that. And so I think that's something that is extremely underrated when it comes to using a more narrow lens like a 50. You tend to really take the pressure off of you as a photographer as a result of focusing on what's around your environment. So we made it to Chinatown. I wanted to hit this area because during golden hour there's a lot of really cool light, and I feel like out of all of San Francisco, this is one of my favorite places to make pictures of. Before we even continue on really quick, I want to talk about the lens that I am using today, because this portion of the video is going to be sponsored by Viltrox. Now, Viltrox has made some really heavy hitters over the last couple of years, including this lens right here, the XF 35mm 1.7. Now, as I mentioned earlier on in the video in the beginning, it is a 35mm focal length on paper, but because of the Fujifilm APS-C crop, it ends up being a 52.5mm, which is close to a true 50mm focal length. Now, as you guys have seen so far, the results from this lens is actually really good. Super sharp in the center, especially with that max 1.7 aperture. You get some really nice shallow depth of field for those insane looking bokeh shots. And kind of a crazy characteristic of this lens, it almost really looks and feels like one of those true classic 35mm film lens, and it's just kind of blows my mind to see that paired up with the Fujifilm X-E1. So definitely, if you are interested, check it out. I will leave links in the description below, and huge thank you to Viltrox for sponsoring this portion of the video. All right, so we have roughly, I want to say, about an hour and a half of light left. I really want to go work Chinatown right now because it is that time of day where people are getting off work. There's a little bit more foot traffic, and we're going to see some really nice scenes start to open up here soon. So, all right, everyone. So I want to close this video off with a couple of thoughts here about shooting with a 50mm lens for street photography. And one of the main takeaways that I want you guys to get from this video is that the 50mm lens, in my opinion, is meant to be very intentional. Everything that you do with this lens, whether that be getting up close to make photographs about detail, or possibly even, you know, setting up a composition, using your environment, you know, creating geometry with different shapes, it's all done with intention. But if you really want to improve your photography, I recommend sticking with one lens for a few months and really getting a feel. And so if you made it to this part of the video, I'm giving you my biggest advice as, you know, something that I have learned, that I'm still constantly learning. Stick to one lens and allow your eyes to adjust to it so that you see the world in that focal length. But that is going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like down below if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe for more street photography content. I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, this has been King Japes. Till next time.